Hey everyone, Jeff here for Demise of Time, and right now I'm going to shoot a few album reviews in rapid succession, so we'll see how that turns out. The first of these that I'm going to take a look at is the debut album from Vanilla Fudge. Now they're an American band, and they're known for playing psychedelic rock with a kind of heavy edge, sort of like Iron Butterfly, that sort of level of heaviness. This isn't heavy like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple heavy, but it is definitely heavier than like something like the Beatles or the Beach Boys. This is a mildly heavy album, but you know, if you're comparing it to any metal group today, it's nowhere on that level on the heavy scale. So anyway, first Vanilla Fudge record came out in 1967. And this is an album that entirely consists of covers, which is a minor turnoff for me. I usually like it when musicians write their own material, but Vanilla Fudge really does do a good job at making each of the tracks their own. You have a few Beatles covers on here, Ticket to Ride and Eleanor Rigby. There's other ones like You Keep Me Hanging On, which I believe was a Motown track before they did it. But it doesn't really bear a whole lot of resemblance to the originals. These guys really took it and applied their own style to it and pretty much deconstructed everything to the point where the only thing that remained the same with the original was just the melody and the chords that were used along with the melody. But they really did change a lot of things. And like right now, for example, we're listening to Eleanor Rigby. And if you're familiar with the Beatles original off of Revolver, which is an awesome album, by the way, and I'll probably review that at some point, very, very different. That the one on the Beatles has a kind of up-tempo, it's still like a kind of somber tune, but it has a very, very strong up-tempo beat, and this version is just this kind of laid-back, soulful, bluesy type thing. And there's also a little bit of prog going on at the beginning too. So you listen right now. Got the little guitar twang and everything like that. So really not like the Beatles original, and that's how this whole album is. They don't stick to just saying, okay, we're going to play covers. They really change the covers around, and I definitely appreciate that. And the style that's played here is, as I mentioned earlier, psychedelic rock with a mildly heavy edge. It would have sounded pretty heavy if you first listened to this back in 1967, which, it's tough to put yourself all the way back then when you're my age, and you've listened to all the music that came after that. But still, you can understand why a lot of folks think this is a really, really important album. When I listen to this, I don't put it on the same level as some other classic releases from that era. I really don't think that this album was quite as revolutionary as some people say it is. I think something like Iron Butterfly's Inagata Davida, the first Black Sabbath album, some of Deep Purple's early stuff, Led Zeppelin, I think some of that stuff was more important in the development of hard rock and heavy metal than this one was. This one doesn't sound too dissimilar from the Beatles and the Doors and stuff like that, but still I recognize that this is a pretty important album, and I'm not going to dispute that at all. It's also a pretty enjoyable one to listen to. It's not something that sticks with me a whole lot. It doesn't really move me on the same level as some other albums that came out in 1967, like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles, or Absolutely Free by the Mothers of Invention. This doesn't do quite as much for me as some of the other albums that came out that year, but this is still a really, really cool record, and if you're into psychedelic rock, I'll recommend checking it out. Take a look at the record real quick. Standard Atco release from that time period. And my record here is in pretty good shape, not beat up or anything. The sleeve's kind of worn out, but nothing too bad. So on the whole, this is the first Vanilla Fudge album. Not bad, but not a favorite of mine either. Definitely realize that it's an important release, and even though I don't think it's completely essential, if you like psychedelic rock and you come across this for a decent price, definitely pick it up because it's a cool thing to have in your collection, and it's definitely an album that was important back when it came out. So, Jeff here for Demise of Time. Thanks for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more of my content. Thank you for watching.